Hello,
I don't know what to do
hello.
with my fucking legs.
Welcome to the Anything More Anything Goes. My name's Miguel.
I'm Brendan.
Welcome to episode 98, folks. For today, we're on a new set. We're on my couch in my house. Brendan, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Invincible and how to properly sit on a couch while
Yes, we
recording
are.
a podcast.
I really hope that I start the episode with you doing that.
Yeah.
With you moving your leg.
It's just
Neither of us.
None
Like,
of this
it's
is comfortable.
such a comfortable couch.
Yeah.
Such a
For a podcast.
A nice. Yes. No.
No, for a podcast, it's not.
Horrible. Yes.
Yes.
Because you don't. And like the cameras, like everything's more open. We didn't have to move a ton of stuff, but
No. This is just.
neither of us just really know.
Nah,
how
I
to
really
sit.
can't feel my hip.
I also like don't know if I should be here or if I'm supposed to be here.
Just gotta go with it.
I kind of like the vibe though.
So
I
do
like the vibe a lot more.
And now we just need a wall there with a TV on it. Because the TV's behind me and this doesn't work.
Best I can do is the iPad. Let's get into it.
Nice.
All right. So we're talking about Invincible. We're basically talking about the last 4 episodes because we kind of already reviewed the first 4 or the first 1 or whatever weeks ago. I'll link it in the bio. I guess we'll talk about it on the whole. Again, we haven't seen Adam Eve because we really don't give a shit. I even tried, right? When there was that lull
I didn't
between
even give it a shot.
well, because I don't find her like she was a really compelling character in season 1, and in season 2, I kind of just bench her. She has like that one episode, like an episode and a half dedicated to her. But in terms of like being in the core thing, it's all about like fucking Mark and Amber and will they or won't they, and then they don't, but then they do again, and then they don't again.
That is what will they, won't they?
That's
means
exactly
yes.
what that means. Yes,
But
no, we haven't watched that one.
It feels like they're probably going to come back to her a little bit more in season 3, just because where the story's going. But at the same
4
time,
years.
I didn't watch that, and I feel like I missed nothing.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
I don't really have a need to go watch it.
And that's not like hating. That's just like
I just don't care.
I feel like they were like, here, this is to hold you over, and we all went, we don't want to be held over. We just want the new season. Don't tease me. Just fuck me. You know, like
just shove it in. I'm sitting here. I'm ready. Where are my new episodes?
So,
speaking of that, really quick, how long do you think it's going to be until we get season 3?
That's what I'm going to lead into. My whole problem with this, right? Season 1, not even a cliffhanger, but it was this great finale of like, oh my God, he turned. We knew it was going to happen. He beat the shit out of him. All the memes. Great episode. There's so much heart in this finale. There's so much going on, but it felt underwhelming as fuck. And now I'm so disappointed.
Because Omni-Man's not really in it.
That could be it. Or it's just like season 1 was all about or rather the finale of season 1 was all action. Finale of season 2 is like him and Adam Eve, him and Amber, his mother, his brother, the weird brain guy.
His brother aged like 2 years in like a week and a half.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Now they're just like, it's been like another 3 or 4 months, but you know, he's still a fucking toddler.
Yeah.
It's like, well, doesn't he age quicker?
He does.
Well, yeah, but like, you know, I'm like, he doesn't even talk
He's
yet.
picking up things so fast.
He's so smart. Really? Because he hasn't said a fucking word.
And he's purple.
And he's purple. Yeah, fuck him. He's purple.
Was that racist?
Yeah.
I'm bug racist.
I am. I don't like bugs.
That's fair.
But
I just like, and that's what I was trying to lead into is this. Like there was all this talk, right? Before season 2 came out, they were like, oh, you know, the gap between 2 and 3 is going to be much shorter than 1 and 2. And then they dicked this around where they were like, oh, the start of season 2. And after episode 4, they were like, we're going on a 3-month hiatus unannounced until this very moment. You're like, great. So you lied to me, right? Not lie, but you told me that there was going to be like less amount of time and that things were going to keep going and you wouldn't have to wait for shit. And then out of nowhere, you're like, by the way, you're waiting for shit.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I love these characters. I love the universe that they built so far. But there's this fucking period of waiting. And then they dedicate an entire scene in the one episode to them being like, oh yeah, you know, animation takes forever. Cold?
Whenever I make a face and whisper something, I always try to do it off camera. And every time you stop the podcast and go, what is it?
What's
Are you
the matter?
okay? And I'm like, just, I'm trying to record around it.
Sorry. And then you entirely derailed me. No, it's just this gap now, man, between seasons 2 and 3. Like, I understand animation takes forever. It's a great show. It looks nice. The colors are pretty and all this shit. And the story is fucking top notch. But I'm still going to be that guy and find something to complain about.
Yeah.
Not to mention that last episode was underwhelming.
But you know what wasn't? The first, like, 2 episodes of Like
Season
the second half.
Oh yeah, when Rex gets shot in the head.
Absolutely fucking destroyed.
And then he just takes his stub and beats the guy with it.
Yeah, it also completely implies that the robot dude
Yeah.
in the finale is dead because Rex is wearing his armor.
No.
Wasn't there.
The robot kid is Rex's DNA.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
that's why he
forgot
looks
that.
like him.
Okay, so Rex is dead.
Probably.
Yeah, that
I
makes
wouldn't
more
doubt it.
sense. You know,
It was also very off-putting, like the 20 years later them.
because
Like, not just...
Adam Eve didn't look like a 40-year-old. She looked like
She looked like she was in her
late
60s.
50s, early
Yeah.
60s, just kind of like retired, like
And also, like,
just like
the 20-year obsession
bougie mom.
with Invincible.
Yeah.
Like, right, from a character perspective, if you look at it isolated, she's like, listen, emotionally, I held on to you for so long. Tell her, so that way she doesn't have to go through this.
Yeah.
But, like, when you look at it on the surface, you're like, you're a 60-year-old looking woman going up to this teenager, telling him how much you're in love with him
To this day.
to this day. Weird.
A little weird. But then also, like, that relieves all the pressure from him unless he doesn't love her.
Yeah.
Because if he does love her, it should be incredibly easy to be like, oh, I love you now, especially since he's going through the whole thing of, even though I do love this other girl, it's not gonna fucking work
It's
as
not
much
at
as I
all.
want it to.
So sad.
So, yeah.
I also like Zazie Beetz. Like,
So I completely forgot that it was her, and I was watching one of the
Until you
episodes,
pause
and I'm like,
Amazon?
that's fucking Zazie. Like,
Yeah.
how did I not notice that?
oh, and they recast Ezra Miller's character, Sinclair, the doctor, the guy that
What?
made the robots. It was Ezra Miller in season 1.
Was it really?
It was.
Huh.
It was recast, understandably
Rightfully
so.
so. Which is
I
funny
mean-
because they have Rex as the guy who I always call Rafi because I first saw him in the league, whose name I don't really remember that well.
Did he also
like
get canceled?
Name is Jason. No, but he always plays someone who should be canceled and in prison.
Probably.
Like the things that he says and the things that he does are always horrifying, and like you're like, not only should you be in jail, you should be in like Guantanamo Bay.
Somebody should really be talking to you about the things that you be
but
saying.
like it's just a guy he plays, but at the same time, you're playing that guy.
Well, then that's
consistently.
different. It's a character piece. I'm not worried about
But it's
that.
like that's all he plays. So like, how much of that is real?
Could just be a typecasting.
Maybe, but I'm not
So
complaining.
the rest, I'll give you that. Yes, see, episodes 5 and 6 were definitely like not peak Invincible, but exactly what you're looking for. Even like the finale with 4.
Yeah.
All of that is exactly what I'm looking for. It's action. There's heart in it, and nothing feels forced or down your throat.
Yeah.
I understand that there's a lot going on emotionally in this show, right? You got the mom that's fucked up. You got this weird kid, son, hybrid bug
That
person
She has
that she's taken such a
just-
loving to.
Yeah, just immediately.
Yeah, I love that
just-
Omni Man is like, I kind of miss my wife in the
I miss
stinger.
my pet.
Yes. You've got fucking Amber and Mark, and then you got Adam Eve, whatever the fuck she's going through, because the only time she shows up in the show is
Yeah.
when Mark goes, oh no, I'm single now, and she happens to be there.
And the Guardian and his love interest, whose name I forget, the multiplying
Kate.
girl. Yeah, she was just like, I'm alive.
Multiplication.
You're so proud, aren't you?
Thank you. That's the walk to it. I get that, but it just, there's 2 things about the episode that bothered me. It was that because it was 45 minutes. Of the 45 minutes, it was like half 35 minutes of it was just that emotion, whatever. And then like we said this before, I'll say it again. I'm fucking tired of the multiverse. I'm really getting there. And the guy like, I'm throwing you through stuff, and you're like, this is cool, okay? Because different whatever, like the zombie universe, but
But he's dead now. They resolved it quickly. So
he beat the fuck out of him.
he did.
He really
and
did.
I'm really fucking tired of Mark being such a pussy.
I'm so tired of Mark losing. The story structure, great. The stories they tell, great. Having Mark get the shit beat out of him with a black eye and all bloody every single time he fights literally anyone
Yeah.
after 16 episodes, pretty fucking obnoxious.
It's because he needs to learn that he needs to actually be a man.
And actually, like,
And he's not doing that. He's like, I let go. I killed him. I'm like, who gives a fuck? You
But see,
killed him.
but then the
he
ending
just
of
broke your mother's arm and threatened to
Yes.
kill your baby
with
brother.
his bare hands too.
Fucking kill him. Like,
Every
what-
time you think that the show's gonna cut away, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of show it is. So he's like, you're like, oh, he's gonna break the wrist. It's gonna cut. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like,
there's
oh,
the bone.
That's a clean break. Like that. And I was like, I was waiting for this moment where he picks up the baby. I'm like, that's still like a Viltrumite baby.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just waiting for him to just punch this dude in the face and like
and do something.
maybe not like kill him or whatever,
Yeah.
but like punch him hard enough to where he's like, what the fuck was that?
Mark's
And-
brother gonna become the villain
No, he's totally gonna become a sidekick.
with no powers,
No, he'll have powers, but like
bug powers.
it's Mark's story. He's also
Yeah.
gonna die in like 2 seasons. So
You know what? I think I take part of that back. the jumping through the multiverse was really annoying,
Yeah.
except for when they did the highlight reel of all the different marks in all the universes.
Yeah.
He had a cape. That was cool.
The one where he's just
He's just
executing
fucking
people,
shing,
just
shing,
yeah.
shing. Or when he's like, because knowing Mark, right, as a character, you think he's going to say, oh, I'm going to do this, and then he'll like fake it out or something. But no, he goes up, he's like, oh, is that your son? Don't worry, I'll kill him quick. And then he flies over, you're like, there's no, and then the blood.
Yeah.
And you're like,
he's fucking dead.
That guy's very dead. That was a kid.
There's a lot of really in-depth character like pieces in this show, and they're not bad under any circumstance, but it's just a lot of time it feels like it's distracting me from the story that I want.
Omni-Man.
And like the robot dude who's just like, I've died so many times, like really cool reveal, but also I don't care anymore.
I don't care about him.
Yeah.
No. Or like the guy that was turned into a robot in the first season, and then they bring him back and he's like, I'm gonna kill myself. You're like, that
was a kind of cool scene, but like
was
now
compelling.
that it ended that, I don't care.
I still don't care.
Eve, like unless she becomes his love interest, I don't really care.
Dude, I thought so there's a part in the end, right? Or not in the end, but in the right before he breaks up with Amber, where that Viltrumite woman comes down. First of all, clearly just Sasha Cal from the from the Flash movie, the Supergirl. Got the short hair.
Yeah.
Superhero-esque or Supergirl-esque, whatever.
Also, I thought like what's her name? Ruby Rose.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I totally thought she was gonna come down and just be like I don't know why I got the vibe, because she like grabbed Amber's neck. She was like, I'm gonna murder the fuck out of her and everybody around you.
Yeah.
But I was like, she's gonna tell him that they gotta get married or some shit so the planet doesn't die or something.
Yeah.
She's gonna be the new love interest.
There was just like, I thought that
I was like, Mark's gonna get a mommy kink. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Oh, it's unavoidable.
Not what happened.
But that scene where she's got her hand on her neck and everything, and you see the fear on her face. The animation is great for this.
Phenomenal.
You really see her being horrified. It's kind of crazy how like everybody else is just kind of like. Sorry, I'm just kind of like babbling at this. I gotta restructure this.
I believe in you.
Every other, I'm gonna say, for argument's sake, damsel in distress in superhero movies, the love interest who always is just like, oh, I'm dying, I'm caught, it's whatever.
You never feel it.
The Green Goblin's got me. They're like, oh no, this is horrifying. And then they get saved and they're like, oh, thank God you're here. This, she's just like, I have my hand around your neck. If I twitch slightly, you're fucking dead.
And then she like squeezes a little harder.
A little bit, and you're like,
is this gonna happen?
She's just gonna pop this girl like a Pez dispenser. And she gets let go, and it's just this complete mental breakdown of like, I almost just fucking died.
Total fucking sense when you're a human that doesn't have powers.
Yeah, and it's the first time I really like see that in a character, and it's just like, yeah, you're like that wasn't like, oh no, my boyfriend has like an arch nemesis, I could die one day. That was like, I was about to die 30 seconds ago. Like it was this close.
My pants are soiled.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know if I could do this. I'm like, you know what? Fair enough.
That makes sense.
Because, like, especially when you got that pussy-ass boyfriend who can't save you. You got Superman behind your back. You know Superman's going to go, like, fucking rage mode and kill the whole planet if someone happens to you.
100%.
But you're going to die. He's just going to sit there and cry for a fucking month and a half. And be like, I don't have these powers, but I can't use them to save anyone. No, you have these powers, but you won't use them to save anyone.
He continues to hold back, right? And Omni-Man's like, you need to stop holding back. I know you're holding back. He's telling him that on the planet. Mark gets the shit beat out of him. His guts are falling everywhere. Okay. Mark goes back to Earth. Mark gets the shit beat out of him. Constantly, okay? And then he goes to fight this woman. And Cecil's like, dude, you got to stop. He goes, I could beat her. Again, shit kicked out of him. Utterly, into the ground, through a fucking cruise, okay? Then you get to the end. He's like, you hurt my mom and my brother. And he beats the fuck out of the dude. Apparently so bad that they didn't want to animate all of his bloody guts. But like the snapping of the wrist is a whole other thing, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you get to the fucking ending. And the last thing he says is like, I need to train to control myself because I can't do things like this, which just means we're fucking running in circles. Yeah. He realizes how strong he is, how he could use it. He gets upset about how strong he is. He stops using his strength. He realizes, and he keeps going.
Yeah.
Tired of it.
It's the whole thing is he doesn't want to be like his dad.
Yes.
So the whole thing that you're now waiting for is his dad coming back to Earth. The whole struggle of, but you're a piece of shit. How could you? No, I don't trust you. We're never going to trust you.
But it's crazy because his dad is regressing back to being not a piece of shit.
That's what I'm saying. So now his dad's going to show up when that happens. Yeah. He's going to be like, no, I'm kind. I'm here for my dog. Mom. His pet.
I'm here for my dog. Didn't get it at all. Yeah. Okay.
And it's just like, you're gonna have this whole thing where he finally sees him kind of regressing and being a better person with it.
It doesn't
And
fix
then
what
him
he
finally
did.
being like, well, I can let go and do this and not be a huge piece of shit. And
Well,
it's just,
even so,
it's
like,
taken too long.
the Viltrumites are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, they came there like his dad fucked everything up. They fuck everything up. They killed all the bug people. They're
Fuck the
destroying
bug.
things. Fuck the bug. They cut open their stomachs and they hold the guts while they still beat the shit out of you. Okay, if you were to stop holding back against another Viltrumite and happen to kill them, no harm done. Honestly,
It is what it is.
like I'm sure if you go to her like, I'm sorry I killed you, she's like, that's okay. My track record, I've killed billions.
Yeah.
I literally flew through a planet by
And
accident.
he's like, I'm a bad person. I put my fist through her face. Rightfully so. Like, he's the kind
Yeah.
of guy who's just like, nah, I can fix Hitler. I don't need to kill him. I
Everyone
can fix,
deserves a chance,
I
man.
can fix this.
You know what? And I'm gonna say, mind you, we're nitpicking, or at least I'm nitpicking.
Well, I'm not complaining about the show. I'm
The show
complaining
on the
about him as a
whole,
person.
yeah, because you know this is gonna go on YouTube and people are gonna be like, oh my god, man.
No, I love the show.
The show is
Yeah.
great. It's just there's things about the show that I believe can be improved or that I just don't like.
But there's a lot of seasons, and that's what it is. We're getting like that.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for
anime
4 fucking
arc
years from now.
where they're just like, or like the Game of Thrones arc, where like the dragons are coming. They're coming
Dude,
one
I-
day. It's just like he's gonna
I-
have his powers one day.
I hate that I'm expecting him to transform. It's not a thing.
I saw a photo online. I don't know if it was like a ripoff or whatever, but it's him in like this like purplish cape, and he's got like the Viltrumite mustache and shit, and he's like older.
Oh yes, Emperor. I think
I didn't watch.
I saw it on a YouTube.
I didn't
thumbnail.
want to know. Yeah, it was on YouTube. It was a thumbnail.
Yeah, it was a thumbnail. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So,
sure it's a
like-
comic-based thing.
Well,
But when I mean transform, I mean like I'm expecting him to like
Kaioken,
kinda.
Super Saiyan.
Well, in DBZ when somebody goes Super Saiyan, you have the white energy that goes around them and like
Yeah.
the explosion. That's what I'm expecting him to get real pissed and like poof and like
I'm just waiting for him to get a better fucking suit.
I love the suit.
I hate the
I-
suit.
I've gotten Timmy obsessed with Funko Pops, and she loves the suit so much that we're going to have Invincible Pops in this house. And I
Okay.
can't fucking wait because the best suit isn't the one that he's wearing. The best suit was the black and yellow one with the cape. That shit's cool.
When was this?
In the multiverse, when it was jumping through,
Oh,
when he
was it on
killed
my
the little
phone
kid.
A little bit
there you go.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
why this fucking generation, man.
Fuck.
Oh, we can talk about the other big thing.
Well, I'm gonna Google this.
Okay. The other big thing is the Spider-Man cameo that was leaked. I think between the second half of what am I saying? Between the first and second half of season 2. That had leaked something about the voice actor. Somebody found
From
something.
the Spider-Man being the same.
Yes.
Okay, so which one of these are you talking about?
I can't see.
Okay, no,
Here,
hold
you
on.
know what? Hold on.
This one?
My screen's bigger. Yes.
That is a nice one. The
That's
cape
the
does
best
make
one.
it better. The eyes are black instead of. He still kind of looks buggish,
He does.
which
I totally fuck with the eye goggles though. Like I like the look.
I don't know.
I think he's just too like Spider-Man smooth. The thing that I like to complain about, you know how Spider-Man in the MCU,
Yeah.
he has no wrinkles in his suit or anything, so
Well,
it
'cause
feels too whatever.
It feels more like a unitard. He doesn't need armor.
Exactly.
He doesn't have. It's just a skin tight suit.
But even a skin tight suit, like in the Amazing Spider-Man, there's ripples. It moves because the suit.
That's
If you
a
move,
cartoon.
yes, in the fabric, if it moves, whatever. But you have people like Omni-Man whose suits feel like they have more texture, or you could see like his bulging muscles coming through, whatever.
Well, because Mark's a bitch. He doesn't
He
have. the
really is
muscle.
a bitch.
He's once the mustache comes in, he gets his full power, and he'll be great.
That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. It was really bothering me the other day because they were walking around while Omni-Man was in prison. I'm like,
Yeah.
is the mustache standard issue? Like, what? Like, do they grow that on purpose because it's part of their thing, or
Yeah.
is that the only facial hair Viltrumites can grow? Oh no, because he grew a beard when he wanted to kill himself. So
Can-
that means they all stylistically choose the '70s porn star cop
Yes.
mustache.
Yes. Well, because Viltrumites have evolved to a point of
To the
like
mustache, yes.
beyond humanity,
Oh.
but their culture has regressed and remained the same since the 70s.
Yes.
So they just have the porn stash.
Hmm.
Can we? So there's two things
Grow
I want to
porn
touch. Stop it. I can't. There's two things I want to touch on. One, the Spider-Man cameo. Agent Spider, whatever the fuck. I didn't like it.
It felt a little bit weird, especially when you take into account actual Batman was there, even though he wasn't on screen, really. He was
Batman.
supposed to be there, but
Yeah.
they couldn't do the Spider-Man. They're like, oh, it's Professor Ock. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You couldn't just make up a new villain? You had to be like, this is so much Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We even have a Spider-Man villain. It's just
I mean,
like,
that would be wild though if now
he
good
shows
to
up in a multiverse.
if he shows up in what's the name of the last one for Into the Spider-Verse? Across
Across the
Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Beyond, yes.
If Invincible shows up, The animation style wouldn't make fucking sense at all.
No, but Donald Glover was in the other one.
He was, and he was live action, which is still incredibly off-putting.
Yes, very weird.
I just,
Fucking,
I
oh my
didn't,
god, like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of superhero movie.
don't like it.
No,
Don't like it. If like it's right, the Batman one was tasteful and it was humorous, right? Because he's sitting there and he's like, "So your thing is a bat, and you're a man, and you go with that lazy name."
It seems a little lazy.
And
to me,
it's
doesn't
just
And
it's just the cape in the wind.
Yeah.
But then this is a whole thing where he comes through a portal. There's a guy you're like, that kind of gives me Professor or Doc Ock vibes. I almost said Professor Ock. That gives me those vibes. And then you have this guy come around who's clearly webs like Spider-Man, but doesn't look or act or whatever like Spider-Man. And then you dedicate like however like a minute and a half or whatever
he does
to
act
it.
like Spider-Man.
I just didn't like it. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like I really like the idea that like DC and Marvel are separate and Invincible is also its own thing. And you could do something small like that to me.
But it's not.
I like to look at it that way.
Okay.
Because then it's whatever. If
Yeah.
like the Avengers and shit start showing up, it gives me these same off-putting vibes as like the rumor that Star Wars is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah.
You're like, those things don't belong
No,
together.
and it's not that they don't belong. It's that there's no need. You have a whole
Exactly.
superhero universe.
There's so much story that you should be telling
Yeah.
about Mark being a bitch. Why are you going to depend on Spider-Man?
Also, we got fucking roided out Alan the Alien by Seth Rogen, and then
So
he
good.
doesn't do anything.
He doesn't, no.
The whole fucking time. Like, he's so
They're
fucking
dangling the
jacked now.
keys. They're like,
Yeah. They're like, wow,
You
she's
want it?
gonna do
You want
this
it?
crazy shit. Also, I'm so confused with the Viltrumite story. And
Yeah.
everything with that dude who's just like, I needed to kill you and take you off life support to make you stronger. But I'm like, well, you did that because you were a bad guy. I'm very
that was Optimus
confused
Prime.
what your allegiance is. Like, what are you, a good guy or a bad guy? Like, what's going on
That's the
here?
other thing I wanted to touch on is some of the voice actors.
Okay.
The only people that'll understand how funny this is to us is if they've watched any of our other episodes.
Clancy Jones in
It's
it?
fucking Clancy Brown.
Yeah,
is in
Brand-
it
Brand.
twice.
Who the fuck is Clancy Jones?
I don't know. Clancy Brown is in this twice, okay? And I hate that I know his voice specifically now, okay? He's the
Zombie
Viltrumite with the
boy.
robot eye,
The what?
the robotic eye, the one that beats the fuck out of Omni-Man when they're in the prison. Greg?
Really? That's
Greg?
him? Greg?
I don't know what his
Greg.
name
I'm
is.
calling him Greg.
He's Greg,
Greg.
okay? And you can
I
hear
didn't
it.
notice that. Sorry, this just really bothered me. Every time you pick up your arm, you have a huge hair hanging off of your elbow. Thank you.
Sorry. And I don't understand. There was a scene of these two women going into a tomb.
And he voiced both of them?
No.
Oh,
They go in there and
Oh,
they
yeah.
find a demon. First of all, I don't understand how that relates to the story whatsoever because it didn't even come into play after that.
nope.
I'm sure it's just more keys dangling.
Yep.
And then the guy starts talking. I'm like, why the fuck is Clancy Brown? Because we have Amazon.
I didn't
It's
notice
on
that
Prime.
was him either.
See, but when you pause on Prime, it shows you who's in the scene specifically.
Yeah.
So he's talking, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that they had Clancy Brown do another thing. And against Clancy Brown, but I'm really tired of every time we watch fucking anything, he just finds a way to show up.
Yeah.
So he's a weird demon that says, oh, I can only inhabit inside of a male's body.
Yeah.
Weird.
Very weird. Kind of Lord of the Rings vibe with like the
Yeah.
Witch King. And they're like, okay, so the only thing I saw was
don't have
that
a problem
maybe that
with
was
it.
more of a flashback.
But then there's
because
just
the
like,
older woman looked a bit like the monster girl if she was an adult.
maybe that's how she got her curse.
I didn't know if that was a little bit more of her backstory. I don't know.
But then it like the one scene shows up randomly. There's no prelude or lead up to it. It's just it's a jump cut to them at a tomb, and she goes, "Oh, I have some powers," and she lifts up a thing a little bit, and then it cuts to like fucking Mark being depressed.
The really nerdy like thing about that whole scene that I absolutely loved
Oh God,
is I mainly know about it from being a child and watching Ancient Aliens.
of course.
Is when she opens that tomb, it's doors with like concentric, is that what it is? Squares that go within each other,
Yeah.
over another, and those are actually famous things from like a ruin that people are like, no, you couldn't have made that. They're like laser cut. It had to be aliens. But like, I like that I saw them draw that, and I knew specifically where and what it was. And I'm like, they're doing that, and then they go in and obviously no aliens, but like mummy.
And then the
like,
woman
things
like
that.
touches her dad's
And I'm
corpse.
like, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I'm such a nerd. I just saw a rock formation, and I'm like, I get you, and like no words.
I remember.
Yeah. And
What else about this? Because I feel like I hate. I'm totally down for the week to week thing, right? Because I like that better than the binge watching.
mhm.
But I don't like the 4-month break 4-episode thing
Yes,
because I feel like even though the episodes are like 45 minutes to an hour,
it's not enough content.
it's not enough. And then I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, I'm going to watch the first 4 because this came out a couple months ago. And being content creators, we have so much shit to watch.
Yeah, and like I kind of wanted to touch on this really quick because I just watched another show that I really like. I'm not
Yeah.
really going to mention it on here because it's. I mean, I could, really quick. It's called Extraordinary. It's about superheroes, but I'm not going to go into it. There's a
Okay.
whole lot. But it's has 8 episodes that got released as a whole season on Hulu that are 30 minutes apiece, and it's a live action show. I watched it in a day, and it was over. And I'm like,
Sitcom.
yeah, a little bit,
At
yeah.
that point, like a sitcom episode
Yeah.
is like 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and
But
I'm
that's
like,
why in a sitcom, you'll do like 20 fucking episodes a season.
but like that was 8 episodes, 30 minutes is 4 episodes, an hour.
Well, but then again,
so you're sitting at the same content.
yeah.
But it's just like now I have to wait a whole year for this. I have to wait God knows how long, and I'm fine with that break in the middle.
Yeah.
But that's if you're shortening the time in between. So if it comes out once a year
Yeah.
and you actually have it all done when the first one comes out, and then you're just spacing it so that way maybe every 6 months, and guaranteed I get it,
Yeah.
even if you want to make it longer.
You're just
do that.
constantly filming and
But if
doing
you're
whatever.
gonna be like, oh, 4-month gap, then you get 4 more episodes, then another 2-year hiatus. I'm like, what are you doing?
You know, it's
here?
funny. That entirely is the opposite of what you said about some of the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
Where it was like, listen, man, there's so much filler in Obi-Wan, right? You have 8 episodes, 3 of them are filler, and then in 3 of them you barely do anything. Just an example. I don't fucking remember. Just cut down the length and tell a good story. And at the same time, it's short. The story should hopefully be concise in one streamlined thing.
Yes.
But now we want more.
Well, no, because those stories deserve to be movies. They made short stories
Yes.
into something that was too long. These are shows that are filled to the brim that are ending too soon. That I'm like,
That's
oh,
fair.
it's over. So it comes down to the quality again. Like
Yeah.
that show that I'm watching is it's only season 2, but every episode something happens. There's a lot going on. Invincible. Every episode, even though it has
Something's
some
happening.
slower moments,
Yeah.
something's always
It's
going on.
progressing the story. It's not
Yes.
just like, oh, so we had 3
No.
episodes of standing around, and then
Yeah.
oh no, 3 episodes of like hardcore stuff, and then this episode we're gonna go on a villain of the
Yeah.
week thing, like the
This is
Mandalorian
based
shit.
off of a comic book series where you have all these beats, and there's a lot of shit to connect to. So,
I'm just curious if it comes out or not.
yeah, I saw you. Well, but with like the Star Wars stuff, it's just like, okay, here's the beginning, here's the middle,
Yeah.
here's the end. What about in between? Fill it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah, and it's just like,
Yeah.
no, this is the
Like
same.
that's the problem with the CW and shit,
Yeah,
or what they used to
You're
be.
giving me content like fucking Gohan and Yamcha playing baseball in between arcs and
Love
calling it
that.
a TV show when there's
Love
only
that.
fucking 8 episodes and going, why didn't you like it? Well, maybe because it didn't fucking matter.
Yes,
Maybe. That's
just an idea.
quite possibly what it was. So like it's just this fucking annoyingness
Yes,
of there's no middle ground. And this other show, I keep seeing rumors online of the show called Supernatural coming back for a 16th season.
Supernatural actually coming back.
Possibly for a 16th season, which
That's
is insane.
too
And they're like,
many.
it's going to be an 8-episode season. I'm like, why? Every other episode, every other season in that show has 23 episodes a season.
Mm.
Why are you cutting it down to 8?
Yeah.
Clearly, it's got a big enough following and a big enough budget to where you could do that if you wanted. Why are you going to make it 8 episodes? You're going to make it so
Well,
it should have
because
been a movie, and then
it's-
you're going to stretch it out again? Or you
I
could-
mean, there's arguments to be on both sides, because something like that is like a it's not a revival. It's kind of like a small continuation,
yeah,
and you're taking a bet, thinking that the diehard fans will be enough to support something, right? The example I can give is Dexter, right? Dexter ended
Yeah.
years ago. People hated the finale. I think it was 2021 that they put out Dexter New Blood.
Yeah.
A very small thing. It was like 8 episodes. They were like, oh, it's a little revival. Maybe there'll be a second season if it
Did
does
seem
well.
stretched, or was it good?
It was good, but the problem is it still didn't perform well. That's why it ended where it did.
Okay.
Because you had people like me, diehard fans, going, fuck yeah, dude, it's been like 10 years. Give me more Dexter. Show me the true finale. And then he fucking dies. But the diehard fans on something small like Showtime, aren't enough.
Yeah.
So then you have people going, man, just give me more. But they're like, listen, the money's not there. The content's not there. Or the content can't be put there because we're not gaining anything from it.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something else.
Just do something more like Breaking Bad, El Camino. Like, just
Great.
give me a
Hour and a
story.
half.
And you know what? It left me wanting more
Except
when it was
for
done. But I
because
rather,
Aaron Paul was so
Yeah.
much older. It was
but like, I rather be left slightly being like, I kind of want more than watching something and
Yeah.
going, well,
That
was
feels
just
rushed
too,
and
yeah,
obnoxious.
that I just didn't. I would have been happier
Obi-Wan.
without it, which is kind of why I went on that tangent with like the Star Wars things and
2
everything.
weeks ago.
It was
Like in
just,
the bio.
and like I'm looking at it, and the more I see, the more it does look good. But it's just like, you have to prove me wrong at this point. I'm going in with low expectations, and until you
Talk about the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Yes.
and until you come in there and just fucking kick down a door and just give me
Blow me
solid
away.
content, I don't care anymore. So, and then maybe it does come
That's
down to these 8 episodes.
fine.
Maybe if you did get something where I'm like, maybe Ahsoka had a 23 episode season and some episodes weren't good, but some were.
That's the perfect segue. Now that we're talking about Star Wars, Star Wars means Disney putting out content. Brendan, let's talk about Disney's release schedule that they just announced through an investor call.
Okay, can we talk before we touch on that? Since that is a very long segment, I am going to touch on one other thing. Since you mentioned Clancy Brown earlier,
God, I'm tired of this man.
Forgive me because I don't remember his name, but one of the cast members from The Boys died this last week.
Oh yes,
he's from Sabrina as well.
We
don't know his name, neither of us. You're
sitting
both holding a computer in your hand.
I know.
He died in a motorcycle accident, and they're delaying
indefinitely
season 2 of the new season of The Boys, or was it new season of Gen V?
Because I haven't finished them, but season I think 4 of The Boys led into Gen V directly, which leads right into season 5 of The Boys, which would then lead directly into Gen V season 2. At least that's what they said
for The Boys, but yes.
Whatever it is, yes.
So now not having him in it, and I loved him as an actor and everything. So not having him in it is a big hole in the show because he's
Chance
great.
Perdomo.
Yes.
Perdomo. That hit home to me, not even because of fucking Gen V or The Boys, because now I'm watching it. Sabrina, dude, you and I fucking love that show.
Great show.
It clearly, because of how quickly after 4 seasons, quickly it ended, was not as big of a thing as we thought it was.
No.
But that show, man, it fucking hit, and he was one of the highlights of it.
Yeah. It was wild. We were in college at the time, so it had
like
this
a sophomore or junior.
A bit more like.
Oh no, I was a freshman. This was like pre-COVID.
Yeah,
when it started.
But it had a bit more of this more adult, I guess, sexuality to it, but it wasn't over the top like other things were. Like there was fucking going on left and right.
Well, it was like a coming of age story and dealing with things like sexuality in your family and whatever. At the same time, we were going through it.
Blood cult where there's all these fucking things.
Nope, I meant we were in college and we were coming of age and whatever.
Well, I wrote my only 100 I ever got on an essay about that show. I actually got 110, I think. I got extra credit because it was so good. You good? Recording?
No, it's still recording. It's just I think it's running out of RAM.
Oh.
Which never happens because we usually have 20 other things open at the same time. Yeah. That's weird.
Well, back to what I was saying. It's one of the few shows where I watched the entirety of the show and then went back and rewatched
every time a season came out
just to do a deep dive into a specific character 100%. So I could write a paper on it.
Was it about him?
No, it was about the girl who transitioned because it was for my media class. So I had to talk about the gender inequality, and a lot of my paper was about how
we went to school for 2 very different things. But we wound up talking about the exact same thing.
Nothing to do with my degree. I don't know why.
It's funny because I went to school for music production with a minor in sociology.
I went for graphic design, so I wrote a paper on how a woman transitioned and her value in the show changed because of it. Aced it though.
But now it's our favorite part of the podcast.
Yeah,
the thing that we do unintentionally, just about every week. Complain about one of the following: Disney, Star Wars, or Marvel. Sometimes all of them. Yeah. Today specifically, we will be talking about Disney. They had an investor call with a release schedule through 2031.
That's
a lot.
Or too much.
I'm also pretty sure we've covered this before. So there's some similar movies on here, only this is going to, instead of it being like Pixar and Star Wars and Marvel, it's
all Disney.
All of it, yes. So the list of them is a little strange. All right.
I don't know what the point of putting this list out is when most of them after next year are just untitled Marvel or Disney movie.
Yeah,
it just
doesn't make a ton of sense.
No,
but then you can go based off of leaks, so we can speculate a little bit.
You're scheduling to put out something when you don't even have
the thing done.
Obviously, it's already probably in development at this point.
In some form.
You're just no, we're committing to this date, which is why they constantly move. How about you stop telling us in advance? I know it's for the investors or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're locking yourself into this thing, and then fans are just well, why is it getting delayed? What's going on? What's that? Just
because you haven't actually made anything.
Just put it out.
Yeah.
When it's ready. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
So number 1 on the list is The First Omen. 20th Century Fox. I heard it was good too. I'm not gonna watch it.
No.
I don't care about it. The next thing, 20th Century Fox, is the monkey movie, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
But
God, I can't.
Monkey Man.
No. I can't. I wanted to cover that this week, but then we just
yeah.
I got a dog today. We didn't have time to go to the movies.
Yeah.
And you're going through some stuff. But we did watch, Timmy and I watched the new trilogy of the Planet of the Apes movies.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I'm
Holy
watching
fucking shit.
The new and the old with Isaiah.
Which is too much for me.
It's actually not bad because they're so fucking different. It just feels like 2 different,
Well, yeah.
We'll get into it, but the information, a lot of it's the same, but the way that it's told and everything is night and day.
Yes.
Okay.
Coming out later this year. I haven't heard of this. Young Woman and the Sea.
Nope.
End of May. Don't know what the fuck that is. You bet it's some more Pixar shit? Dude, Wish was put on Disney Plus, and if you look at all the comments when Disney Plus posts on fucking Instagram, it's just like, wow, shit movie. Bad job. Like, I love going into Instagram comments for the White House because it's just like Republicans. It's just like the White House fucking social media, whatever. It's a thing, okay? They'll always just post like, oh, Joe Biden did this and whatever. The comments, hilarious, because it's just people being like, it's only the most extreme Republican people that will comment on the White House's Instagram.
Okay.
So it's hilarious. I love going into the comments.
Okay.
People are complaining about Wish for everything.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. Next on the list is Inside Out 2.
I don't know what to do here because we don't usually get political on the podcast. So
No.
I didn't want to like bounce off of you.
Well, no, the point isn't to get political.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to explain that I love going into Instagram comments because I love watching people complain.
Okay. I hate that. It makes me mad, so I just avoid it.
Oh, same. I just make sure not to comment on stuff.
Well, I never comment to begin with, but I'm like, why am I doing? Like, why am I reading this? I could just not.
Because it's so
and then
funny.
not be mad.
Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes I'm like, that's wrong, but I'm gonna let you be wrong.
Well, like you said, it's always extremist, but like on whatever post, it's usually extremist.
Exactly.
Like
It's always
both
extremist
sides,
of whatever.
So it's just like you're just watching this war happen.
Yes. Through
Civil
the comments.
War coming out next week.
Are we watching that?
I don't know.
Probably
I don't
not.
want to, but I heard it was really good again.
I heard it was good too.
So
I'm gonna put that on my
knows?
list of like a Late Night with the Devil. When that goes to streaming, I'll watch that.
Okay.
Same thing for Civil War, probably Monkey Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just add like a list of like, the end of the year.
Complaining that there wasn't enough coming out,
and now there's too much.
There's a lot coming out,
Yeah.
and like not all of it's on our radar. Like if we didn't have anything going on, we'd probably go see
100%. If I didn't work 40, if this podcast could take off, then yeah, I'll go see fucking 4 or 5 movies a week.
Yeah,
that's different. Until then,
out 2 podcasts a week for all the movies.
That would
on
be
like
awesome.
Busy weeks, but like on slow weeks, you get one again.
Exactly. Fuck you guys. Okay, so next is because I on an Instagram thing. Okay, and because of this iPad, Instagram won't like rotate or zoom correctly. Kinds of Kindness, Searchlight.
I think I've heard of that.
It's just very strange.
I did read this list, so it could just be me.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So it's funny because anything from Disney makes sense, okay? Anything from Marvel or Star Wars makes sense. I get it. Anything from 20th Century Fox even, I could be like, all right, that makes sense. Spotlight, I forget that they own. So it's just like Inside Out. Devil kills his mom. Deadpool versus Wolverine. So that's the next one, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks pretty stellar.
I'm so excited for that. So the other day, I just watched Deadpool, the first one, again.
Same. So much fun.
After the second one came out, I was a little bit
burnt,
underwhelmed by it. Not that it was a bad movie under any circumstances, but Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds in that has some great jokes, but a lot of other time is this grating, like 13-year-old cursing to curse humor.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, especially when you're going to make it a rated R thing. I know he's a bit goofier, but like maybe fix the dialogue.
You know what's so funny is I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Yeah.
I love the character that he plays, but I'm pretty sure I've fallen in love more with the idea of him playing Deadpool than the movies themselves.
Yes.
Because 2 is fun, but it's not great.
No.
Even 1 is a lot of fun, but it's like
that movie was way better than I remember it being. So I'm glad I went back.
So we're backwards. Okay.
We rewatched it.
Yeah.
But having said that, those jokes in there, just like when he's looking at Negasonic Teenage Warhead, mouthful, he's just like, oh, what the shit? And I'm like,
you're doing that just to do it.
Yeah, you're just
especially in the first one though, because it was the first, not the first, but one of the first rated R superhero movies.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, what the shit? Oh, come on!" And like he's doing all this like, just annoying, just kind of like
over the top
cursing when you don't need to curse. And it's just like the other moments where it does work, it works amazingly.
Yeah,
and
but
the
then when
action
it doesn't, you really notice.
humor, like with the title cards and everything, like directed
Title
by
cards
an
are fucking
ass
hilarious.
hat or whatever. And like there it works, but if he like starts talking to the camera,
he's talking to you and like, man, fuck shit ass bitch. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
Like, why are you doing that?
That's not a sentence.
Everybody knows that guy.
Yeah.
That guy exists.
That was me in 6th grade. Yeah.
That's right.
So like
that's when I was like, you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah. Me sitting on the couch watching a show called What the Fuck every time something happens, going, what the fuck? Just like, because it's in my head and I'm like 5 and I can't think. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, this is funny. So like, it's got a lot of that. So I'm really hoping that it's a bit more grounded in this with Hugh Jackman being in it and everything.
I don't even think it's Hugh Jackman. I think that it's just going to be more grounded because it's Disney. And so they're going to reel him in a bit more to be a tad more comic accurate and less like rated R just for the sake of being so.
You know what I'm scared of? They take out the shit that we like and they leave in that dumb shit because they're like, this is for the kids stuff, even though it's rated R.
Can't wait for there to be a PG-13 version of Deadpool 3.
Yep.
Just like Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah,
Still funny, though.
which is also what ruined it for me because Deadpool 2 came out, and then we
Yeah.
went to go see Once Upon a Deadpool
Yeah.
at like 6 months after
Yeah, because it came around at Christmas time.
which we finessed so fucking hard.
Did we?
It was either that, the second Deadpool, or the first one. I forget what it was,
Yeah.
but we ordered tickets online with Movie Pass when it was still a thing. They fucked up. We got there early, got in our seats. We
Oh my
lost
God,
our
yes,
seats,
and
then
some
these other
guys showed up, and they had
were
our
like, "You're in
seats."
our seats," and then we're like, "No, we have this." And then the usher came in and everything,
We
and
showed
they're
them our
like,
tickets.
they're like, "I don't know what to do here." So they're like, "Okay, well, we'll just give you free tickets for the next one." That's what it was. It glitched out, and they're like, "We're sorry, we lost your ticket,
Mm.
but here's free tickets." So we got that to Infinity War. But we still had the Deadpool tickets
Yes.
in there for some reason, even though it glitched
And they
out.
were
We
free.
still technically had them,
Uh-huh.
so we got to see both for the price of none.
Basically, yes.
And
Fuck,
this guy, we
I
fucked
love
over
Movie
this
Pass.
guy so bad.
Yeah, we
Movie
did. We
Pass was
probably
great
ruined
'cause
their
you
whole
could
day.
go anywhere and do
I
whatever.
miss Movie Pass.
I miss it too, but at the same time, the like $5 rewards at AMC for stubs.
Oh my God, A-list, dude.
and A-list with just the 3 movies,
Dolby,
anything. Yeah.
IMAX.
Yeah, I'm not going back to
I'm
the other one.
so.
How is not everyone on this?
I don't know.
This feels like a sponsor, but it's not.
It makes
it's just
total
that
sense
good.
though, man.
Yes.
$25 a month, right? Because every time I explain this to someone, they're like,
They're like,
"Man,
"You
I don't
pay a
want to think."
subscription. I'm like, yes.
Yes, $25 a month. Okay, if you see one Dolby movie, you've made most of your money back. If you see 3 in a month, you're ripping off AMC. If you see 9 or 12,
Yeah,
what the
you're
fuck?
just stealing money.
And then I go and I spend like $15 on drinks or whatever.
Yeah, but then like,
But it's still cheaper
every
than.
once in a while, I feel like I'm winning over them because
Exactly.
I use my $5 coupon to pay $6 for a
That's
bottle
right.
of water that's now 50 cents.
Yeah, but it's Dasani.
Yeah, but it's 20 ounces.
Okay, next on the list, besides Deadpool, is Alien Romulus. I've never seen any of the Alien movies. I'm so fucking excited to watch
I
them.
got a new whole argument with Isaiah. Not an argument, but he yelled at me.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Alien. I haven't seen Aliens.
Yeah.
My first Alien movie was Prometheus, which people hated. Once again, me as an Ancient Aliens kid loved it.
I'm sure, yes.
It was
Michael
so
Fassbender.
cool. I'm like, there's aliens on Earth.
Yep.
There's this whole thing with the fucking, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So we
Michael.
do all that. I saw that. I saw the one after that.
Alien Covenant.
Yes.
Which is still
Which-
a prequel, but it takes place after Prometheus.
Yes, which I still liked, but not as much as Prometheus.
The CG, all I remember is the CG of the alien in the trailer.
Yeah.
Cool as shit.
So like I liked all that. I saw Alien versus Predator.
What about the second one?
Alien versus Predator 2.
Requiem. Alien versus Predator Requiem.
I had to have.
Probably.
I just don't remember. Which one are they in the pyramid?
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh.
I don't know. I just know
So
that
pretty much,
apparently
I've never seen a good Alien
apparently
movie.
you're supposed to watch them with Alien versus Predator 1 and 2 first. Doesn't make sense.
Timeline.
Prometheus, Covenant, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
That's like, right, to us it makes sense, but that's like watching the prequels and then the original trilogy and then the new ones.
Yeah.
Where you're like, there's no cohesion.
Not at all.
Like, it's just the same actors showing up a little bit with like light swords, but like none of this fucking looks the same.
Yeah. And a lot of the alien thing is just like you're on this ship.
Mm.
It's very enclosed and everything.
There's
a
a
lot of
bad
why I
guy.
like Prometheus and everything is because you're on an alien planet. You're seeing more of this technology. It's
Yep.
really cool.
Finding the aliens.
Though they did have the whole fucking like dumb cartoon thing where this giant spaceship is
Yeah.
rolling and they're running lengthwise with it instead of just stepping to the side. And they're like, "Oh no, I'm gonna die." One of them does die,
Understandably, he probably
due to
deserves
that,
it.
but no one ever goes sideways. I don't know what the fuck's so hard to think about that. It's coming at me. Better run with it.
Yeah. Alien Romulus, I'm hype as shit for. It's
Mhm.
another series that I could get into. After that is A Searchlight for A Real Pain.
That's a terrible title.
I don't know what that is.
I'm not gonna watch that.
Then we have Moana 2.
Not gonna watch it.
Another Searchlight named Night Bitch
I might have to watch that
on
one.
a Disney list.
I might have to watch that.
And the closing that I don't want to watch, right? I don't want to watch it. I know we're going to fucking have to, is Mufasa, The Lion King.
Why? The other one was really big when they came out with the live action thing because it was new and it was whatever, and
Yeah.
it's The Lion King. I think people have learned from that, so even though it's going to be a kids movie, it's going to still be a big deal. It's not going to be like that.
I hope not, because it is around Christmas time too.
Nothing I like more on the holidays than looking at lions in Africa.
Live action. Then we go into 2025, okay? The year of our Lord, Black Ops 2.
What?
That's when Black Ops 2 takes
Does it
place.
really?
Yes. We're old. Captain America Brave New World is in February. On Valentine's Day. Fucking weird.
Yeah.
Untitled Disney. No, wait.
I thought that got canceled.
Nope.
Dude,
20th Century
don't make me go
what?
see that movie.
Snow White,
Yeah.
you'll be there.
No.
If not Snow White, then the Heathers musical, you will be there. Get over it.
Can we see good movies?
The Amateur is a 20th Century Fox movie. Followed by the thing that's filming right now, Thunderbolts.
Ooh. That movie that's totally going to come out.
My favorite thing, Untitled Disney.
Yes. We're just in that range. Just name the things then that have a name.
I'm going to keep going because now in 2026 it's mostly untitled, but we know what it's going to be.
Okay.
Elio is a Disney movie. I don't know what the fuck that is. The Fantastic Four. Be there. Tron Ares.
What year is this?
2025.
Okay.
Will be there. Blade, allegedly. That movie's never going to happen.
Mm-mm.
Zootopia 2.
Ooh.
And to cap off the years, Avatar 3.
Nice.
Love these. 2026. Ready? Of the like 15 movies coming out, 11 of them are untitled Marvel, Disney Animation, Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
The untitled Star Wars is probably The Dawn of the Jedi. The one that takes place ages before. Of the named ones, you have The Mandalorian and Grogu. Bad title.
Yep.
Toy Story 5.
Like Batman and Robin.
Live action Moana.
No. Come on.
Avengers The Kang Dynasty, but not really because he got canceled.
The Kang cancellation.
The death of Kang.
That'd be great if it was. You had the moment from Fairly Odd Parents with the Crimson Chins, where it's
Here
all of them,
comes
and
the
they get
Crimson.
Jonathan Majors back for one scene, and they're gonna be like, "You can always count on me," and then it cuts to him. It goes, "Not me. I got canceled."
And then we have. There's only 4 movies left. All of these we can assume. 2027. You know when you're approaching 30.
Shut up.
Avengers: Secret Wars. Untitled Star Wars Episode 10.
Really? The Ray movie, or
Yes,
like
the Rey movie.
I'm not calling that episode.
will
10.
be
I'm
episode
calling
10.
that garbage. Fuck that movie.
And in 2029 is Avatar 4.
Yeah.
In 2031 is Avatar 5.
5.
And apparently there's been leaks about Avatars like 6, 7, and 8.
Yep, and it was also confirmed that Dune Messiah is now in the works.
Yes, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's the important one.
That is the
Fuck
important
the
one.
rest of the Disney stuff. Can we just move away from who
Bob
funded
Iger.
Dune?
Dune?
Yeah.
Who funded it?
Yeah, who's the production company? Like,
I
who's
hope
the
it's
owner?
not Sony. I don't think it's Sony.
I
There
can't put
wasn't
my
a
faith in them. I'm like, we gotta get away from Disney. Who else have we got?
Sony.
It's Sony. Fuck.
No, it's not. Hold on.
I mean, Sony's not bad when it comes to things that aren't superheroes. Sony.
No, hold on.
What is Universal doing? Harry Potter ended and they've just done nothing.
Why is it so hard to find? Oh, quick facts.
The
Fast.
Weinstein Company.
Budget 190 million. Why is it so difficult to find?
Oh, Wikipedia.
Epic, sweeping, and futuristic. Showtimes. Wikipedia. Warner Brothers.
Oh, thank you.
Because they.
You know, that makes sense. It's on Max.
Yes, yes. Well, I was going to say HBO, but HBO doesn't fucking do movies anymore.
You know
Yo, you want to talk about a
you know
movie that doesn't make any fucking
You
sense?
know what HBO stands for?
Holy big ostrich.
Home box office.
Hyperbole boob ostrich. Hippopotamus.
That's the one I wanted to go down that route, but I no, okay.
Hippopotamus bouncing ostrich. Do you know what I want to talk about?
What?
Why the fuck is Christian Bale Frankenstein's monster? When did that happen?
Here's the important question. Why is he trying to be sexy? Did you not get that? Does it not look like a cologne poster or something? Like, what's going on? He's got a chest tattoo. It's Frankenstein.
He's definitely giving me a Suicide Squad Joker vibes, or the Crow, the new Crow.
I'm getting more of this is going. I'm getting more Joker Folie à Deux vibes, where this is going to be a little bit more musical. It's going to be a little bit more heart-wrenching, and it's going to be a bit more of a love story, and it's going to be extra.
Maybe directed by Tim Burton.
No. Not the same. I don't want it, especially with Christian Bale. Tim Burton and Christian Bale do not mix.
No, they do not.
Not at all. He only knows 5 people, 3 of which are Jenna Ortega right now. And that's what he's going to do. I don't know. Dude,
I'm really not looking forward to Beetlejuice.
I was so much, and then I saw the trailer and everything, and there's all this other stuff coming out with like Jenna Ortega. I love Jenna Ortega.
I'm tired of her
but
too.
She's so everywhere that I'm like, Can you stop doing just like the most high brand things that you could find and maybe just make a good, to be fair, she did just do Miller's Girl. I didn't watch it.
I didn't want to watch that either.
But like I want to see her in something more like a Dune or something like
Acting.
like where it's high end, but there's substance.
Where you can
there's
come in and
quality
not
to
just
it.
do the same
Yeah, not
thing.
just be like, I'm Wednesday Addams. I'm an angsty girl in Scream. I'm totally gonna be another angsty girl in fucking Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, terrible title. I can't wait till they make the third one.
I was gonna say, I really hate
Beetlejuice, and then he's just gonna fucking show up and he's gonna break loose. He's gonna go on a rampage like Godzilla. I'm down
Great
for
movie.
that. That's gonna be dumb as fuck. But
It
it
is.
could be fun.
I'm
Yeah.
You know, but it's maybe my opinion is different because I've never been a fan of her to begin with. Like, she's awesome in the 2 Scream movies before she quit the
Yeah.
next one, and then they brought back all the old people again.
No, I liked her in You. I liked her in, I think it was the sequel to
She was great in You. I
Kill
remember
the
that.
Babysitter or whatever the fuck it was called.
Sure. Some Netflix bullshit.
It wasn't bad. I thought it was gonna be bad because the first one had Bella Thorne in it, so I'm like, obviously this is gonna be a piece of shit, but it was
Yeah.
actually pretty good. I mean,
that
it
why
was
you
still a
watched it?
Netflix horror teen film kind
Yeah.
of thing where it's not actually scary, but like it wasn't bad. So apparently she was on Disney before that, but like I think that was after my time.
Yeah, we're long past that.
Yeah.
You're
So
gonna be 27.
I don't know if I talked about this on a previous one, but like
You're gonna be 26.
yeah. But
Sorry.
like it's so weird watching Disney things when you got a little bit older where Disney really wasn't your thing. So then you view the kids on there and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, those are children now.
Yeah.
But then like they get older and I'm like Googling, I'm like, you're doing all that. How fucking old are you? I'm like, oh, you're my age. I thought you were half my age.
I was watching you
What
do
the
these things, and we were the same age.
I looked at you like you were a kid. What the fuck was I? Oh yeah, a kid. Like I'm just like, look, like you just reach a certain age where you're like, these
We are
Disney
one and the same.
shows and these Nick shows are
Yes.
just for children.
Exactly.
No, the people acting in it are my age, and Hannah Montana's brother was 30.
On the show?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Isn't he bald now?
I don't know. He's like 50 right now. Like he's fucking old. I didn't watch Hannah Montana, but
You didn't watch Hannah Montana?
No,
I watched
never-
Hannah Montana forever. When
wasn't
they were
my
like,
thing.
man, the show's ending. You're like, well, I understand there's emotion here, but she clearly looks like an adult now, so this needs to end.
I remember my great grandmother didn't really know anything about me, but she knew I liked rock music. So one year for Christmas,
Oh my God.
she got me a camp rock guitar
Yes.
with Demi Lovato and the
Yes.
Jonas Brothers on it, and I'm like,
Thanks,
thanks,
Grandma.
Grandma. And you know what it was? It wasn't just a guitar. It was a Guitar Hero off-brand game that only had camp rock songs. What a gift.
I learned there's a Metallica Guitar Hero today.
There is. That's one of the last ones before it went out. It was like
Yeah.
that and Van Halen were like the last two, I think.
2009 era.
Yeah.
And then they
But-
came
but
back
it was
in
really good,
2015.
but it was also like you had DJ Hero coming out. You had
I
all the
played
rock
DJ Hero. That
bands.
was bad.
Yeah, so like that was when it needed to end, but
Yeah.
it just got too oversaturated. You got to
Mm.
dial it back. We should
But
totally
now
get
we're
the
ready.
Metallica one because you and me both like them.
We,
to where
we need
definitely
to buy
do
an
it.
old TV because we tried hooking up your PS2 to this TV and it didn't work very well.
Well, I don't know why we're playing it on a PS2. We have technology. We have a PC. We have emulators.
We could
they
just play
exist.
Clone Hero.
We could also what?
Clone Hero?
What is that?
That's the thing where people are playing all the crazy stuff on fucking
Why
Twitch.
are we not doing that right now?
Because we don't have time.
Okay.
All of my free time is this and Timmy and working.
All of my free time is this
Supernatural.
TV, gym, Dragon's Dogma, podcast stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Dragon's Dogma 2, really fun,
Mm.
also fucking aggravating. It's either I'm having a blast or I'm gonna throw my controller at the
Yeah.
fucking TV and there's no in between.
You want
'Cause-
some good news?
What?
I'm back on Overwatch.
Still have mine installed. Let me know. We'll play.
Maybe
I
today.
learned how to play Mercy. I'm ready. Everybody needs a healer. Come get me.
I play Life Weaver. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, it's episode 98.
I like how we were like, yeah, we'll talk about
Disney.
Invincible for like a good portion of this. We talked about the first episode, the last episode, ignored everything in the middle,
Well,
and
because
talked about
what
it
the
for like 20 minutes.
We're past that, okay? While you may be right,
I mean, I'm fine. I don't know how this is gonna break down in shorts and stuff like that, but like we had a lot.
I can't wait to see the short of us talking about Frankenstein's monster. That's going to be a good
Why
one.
does you have to be so hot?
Be like, man, I don't like it. Well, he's sexy.
Why?
And then you're going to put like, "Duh,"
Not gonna do that.
with like the eyeballs on the springs.
Do you know how to do that? That's
Just
gonna take
overlay
some
a
time.
GIF on top.
Maybe this couch is a little too comfortable.
I like this a lot. I think this is my favorite set so far.
Yeah,
only because of this.
I think I like this for the morning ones, and at the
Yeah,
night one we go to the bar.
that's fine.
Okay.
So, Brendan,
Yeah.
you remember what we talked about last week?
We talked a lot about Kong and Godzilla.
Monkey rides a lizard
Yes.
versus monkey riding a different lizard,
Yeah.
and how they're radioactive and everyone forgets.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah,
Everyone's fucking dead. We
very
all
good
have
movie though.
cancer.
Very good movie. The short's doing well now too.
Is it good?
The one I think of the four, one hit 1.2, the other one's like 600. The one just broke 4.5.
We were at 2,000 for so long, and now it's
What do you mean? Oh, like per
They
short?
were almost at like 3,000.
Yeah,
Now we're set back completely.
not
But
necessarily. Now, if you look at the ratio, like our average has gotten better. It went from like being like 200, 400. Now it's like 6, 7, 800 is the average,
Mhm.
and now it's like every other one does better.
Okay.
Like this one will do 4, this one will do 6, this one will do 1, this one will do 7,
Yeah.
and then the one from yesterday, the day before yesterday, is a lot of them just had like they have more longevity to them now,
Mhm.
so it's working better.
I know we don't have a lot of like recurring viewers for every episode.
Yeah.
But if you are and you've made it this far, please leave a comment. We're thinking about changing some things up
Yes.
a little bit as far as the episode goes, maybe making it a little bit shorter, more edited. Let us know if you'd like to see that or if you do like the full length videos. That's how you're ending it?
No.
Hard sound. Oh, okay.
No. Do you know what we're doing next week?
No, not at all.
Next week is our collab.
Is it?
Yes.
Are we certain?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna call him after this, but yes, it's our first collab that we're doing. We've spoken about it a couple times in other episodes.
Yeah.
We're talking about Fallout.
Yeah.
That's gonna come out this week. Have to make sure to actually watch it. And then there's
We might
like
have to
Civil
reschedule
War.
that.
What?
We have to reschedule that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We'll talk about it afterwards. And then week after that is episode 100, where it's going to be a very like, of course, if there's a movie out, we'll talk about whatever. But it's going to be one of those ones that I enjoy. That's kind of like spend some time talking about the podcast, spend some time talking about us. Timmy will be on. I think Matt will make an appearance for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
We'll just kind of celebrate and then just be like, all right, here's what's going forward, man. We're changing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. It feels like so long in between when we change things, but we like kind of like hard rebooted it in January and it's
We did.
April now.
Yeah.
It feels like we change everything over every like 4 months. And
Well,
like for the
we're
most
not-
part, it feels like it's for the better, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I feel like we
Well, the
we
problem
change
is
a lot.
because we're such a small thing, we're changing to see what works, right?
Yeah.
So we went from doing it here to Aaron's house because the green screens were better. It was much simpler. We didn't have to do all the setup, and moving my apartment around in its entirety every fucking week was really annoying.
Mhm.
We went from Aaron's house to your house because there was like some personal stuff going on, but also like the simplicity, and we like the vibe of the bar and the cameras and whatever. Worked out better. This we're doing now because of, I got a dog and I'm very tired. And the set just feels more comfortable. I've seen a lot of other podcasts that are much more relaxed than we are. And even though, like, at least from my perspective, what I see, it's a lot of like, we have a really good time on camera. We're doing stupid shit. But then it's very like it's always the black background. We're on the green screen. We're doing this. We try to have things clean. I feel like having some episodes like this where it's a bit more laid back is a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, the real thing is that we want to get rid of the green screen, but we need an actual consistent setup to
Yeah.
where we can like put things on a wall.
Yes.
Do whatever. Like this wall here, like you don't want to
This is perfect because this is just,
But like
it's
you-
good.
We don't need to have podcast background stuff up
Yeah.
all the time in your house on
Exactly.
this wall. At my house in the basement, there's like fridges and stuff behind the set, so
Yeah.
we can't do it there. So until one of us gets a place that's more
Yeah.
stable, like we kind of have to go with green screen or blank white wall.
Yes. And I got a fiddle. I'm sorry. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the changes because they're also not like horribly sporadic. It's very like you're right. Maybe it's every 4 months, but every time we do change something, it's deliberately for the better. It's not because we're like, oh, we're in this bind or we're doing this. Like we went from like Zoom stuff to in here.
We went way too much with like trying to make sure that we had a good tangible set with like
Yeah.
toys and stuff in front of us. And then we were like, no, let's make it more simple, but it was in an area where it didn't work well. Then we went
Yeah.
somewhere else where it was just kind of like we had a more stable set, but there wasn't much character, I would say, to it.
I would agree.
And
And
then-
that's part of the problem is having the black background. It's everything kind of looks the same. There's not a ton of difference between it, and there's not enough character. Like I like the black background that we made because it does give us some kind of defining characteristics for certain parts. But I feel like having it every single week for another 50 episodes can be stale.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we have a tangible background, it's also going to be that. Like, it's
Yeah.
going to be the solid background every time.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what a wall is. It doesn't change.
The wall breathes and it moves and it changes colors. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk more shop when we're done.
Mhm.
But this has been I've liked this episode a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's also like much better to be able to like
Look directly at each other.
yeah.
Not be at weird angles. That, oh, I'm a little fucking like twisted over here.
Yeah. I mean it's also like it's stupid, right? Because 100 is a lot. But it feels like it really takes a very long time for a podcast to hit its stride and to become comfortable, especially when it's not like our full-time job doing it 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So I feel like it wasn't until 2 or 3 weeks ago that I felt 100% comfortable without having to drink doing this.
I just feel like 100 episodes is a big deal.
Oh,
And
it's a
feel,
huge
I
deal.
feel like we should be like a little bit further along with it.
I would agree, but that's
So
why
that's-
we've been
yeah.
talking about changing things.
Yeah.
Like smaller clips, different stuff, whatever. Make a cup of coffee.
Yep.
This has
And
been you do the
This has
closing.
been the Anything Bowl where anything goes. I'm Brendan.
I am Miguel.
See you next time.
Lick my balls.
Nope.